Welcome to Revolutionary Girl Utena, a look at episodes 14 through 23. Now that the Black Rose saga is finished, I am really surprised to see the type of turn that this series is gearing into. The extremely sensitive memories of certain characters were being exploited by Mikage's Black Rose seminar. He preys on these characters' insecurities and offers his seminar as a type of counseling that has a darker purpose. Mikage created the Black Rose Duelists for the purpose of defeating Utena and to help the sick Mamiya be eternal, the brother of Tokiko, the woman he loves. And the plot twists and reveals here are some of the wildest I've seen, and how difficult they are to try and figure out when you watch Casualty for the first time. As kind and good Himiya seems, it's getting hinted more than once now that she's taking part in a conspiracy. I'm still guessing myself, but I think Mikage is a mirage. The spelling similarly here being the hint. There are confusing parts like Mimaya already being dead, that's the ill kid, and Mikabe himself not aging, despite his love interest did. At the end, Akio, Himemiya's brother, tells Miyama that Mikabe has graduated from the academy, as the way for him is not prepared now. He also implies that Mikabe isn't aging. And to make the reveals even more creepy, Himiya was Miyame. The real Miyame had died long before. So if you look at the comments for these last episodes that conclude the Black Rose saga, everybody just seems confused. But it's good though. It's good. You have to really pay attention and put two and two together. There's some really interesting plot that I'm guessing has implications for the students here. The fights here are similar to the first season. The battle introduction with the heavy rock song showing Utena climbing up the spiral staircase with determination is iconic, and I don't get tired of seeing it. Even though the fights are short and predictable as to who wins, at least the execution is very creative, and they are very dramatic and emotional. This keeps the viewer amused despite already knowing what will happen. There was also a hilarious Twitter-like episode where Nanami gets a cowbell she wears because it's made by an expensive jewelry designer brand. She doesn't even know what a cowbell is and that it's for cows. It partly makes fun of how people are obsessed over these fancy brands. They could have products that are just regular looking, but if they slap the brand name on it, people will go out of their minds over it. To make it funny, Nanami starts mooing a lot and eventually turns into a cow. As for the Black Rose Duelist, Kanae is the first one. Mikage exploits Kanae's despising of Himiya. She is Himiya's brother Akio's wife, and she was jealous of Himiya. The second Black Rose Duelist was Kuzoe, who is Miki's brother. She has an unhealthy obsession with him and does surprising things to get his attention. She becomes outraged that Miki is in love with Himiya, and this is what leads to her getting counseling. Speaking of Miki, he is still in love with Himiya. Shiori becomes the third because of her rocky relationship with Yuri. Mitsuru becomes the fourth out of his desire to be an adult. It's amusing to see what he tries to do to grow up fast. Oddly enough, Shiori was to become the next one, but Mikage doesn't let him. Shiori's situation was very different from the others, and he was more confrontational and accepting of the situation. That could be why, maybe not. Wakaba was the fifth, and that episode was a very emotional journey. Her Onion Knight, the boy who protected her as a child, had fallen in love with her, and though they make it appear as they are both about to confess when they are alone, Wakaba didn't actually love him. It was very bittersweet. Keiko, the sixth, ends up at the seminar because Nanami is very jealous about who is with her brother. He sees Keiko with him, though it was innocent as she was only letting Toga share her umbrella with him. She tells Keiko that she knows she is trying to get with her brother, and banishes her from her social activities. This leads to Keiko wanting revenge and goes up to lose to Utena. Thanks to the way Utena is written, a lot of characters are getting very effective and emotional and dramatic character development, back to back to back. And of course, the shadows that do those skits between the episodes before the fights, I think they're my favorite characters because of how interesting they are and how they just kind of make a mockery of everything. They're very funny. They're just full of funny jokes. I like the running gag where Utena kind of just corrects him at the end before she gets to her fight. I've already explained the ending of this saga, and I'm curious to see what Himiya is really up to. Thanks for listening.